Alright then people, welcome to the Bright Show podcast, Boxing. Now before we start this episode, please do me a favour, click the like button, subscribe and leave your comments in the section below because I really want to know what you think about this one. AJ, Anthony, Joshua. Now we have seen that Joshua, he has had a resurrected career, and I think it's safe to say that he's looking really good. Since the Ruiz fight, which he lost, and it was probably one of the biggest upset since Mike Tyson and Buster Douglas. That was how big of an upset it was back then in New York, and since then Joshua has been looking to find his feet, and it seemed as though he's found it with Ben Davison, and it seemed that they've clicked really well. And they've had two fights, which is the Walling fight and recently against Ngannou. I mean, he was with Derek James, and it seemed as though Derek couldn't get the best out of Joshua. But Ben Davison seems as though he's been able to ignite something in Joshua. And he looks really fit. He looks really coordinated. It seems as though he can stick to a game plan. He's punching harder, and he's really dangerous. So what's next for him? After the Ngannou fight, where he absolutely obliterates Ngannou in 2 rounds. What is next for Joshua? We've heard that Wembley has been booked somewhere in September for Joshua's next fight, so which is going to be in the UK, which is great news for British boxing fans. It'll be really good to get some domestic fight or get some fights over here. That is, for us to go and watch watch them on TV at the normal British time. I think we haven't had that since the Saudis have come into boxing and really taken the game by the scruff of the neck, and they're doing some really incredible things, the Saudis. But it would be good for Joshua to fight in the UK, to fight in front of the British fans, and really give the fans something back for the support they've given him over the years. But what is next for him? So basically, we've got two matchups, and I think whoever wins those fights could be Joshua's next fight in September. You've got on their 5v5 Queensbury versus Matchroom. You've got Daniel Dubois and the Croatian Filip Hrgovic, and then you've got Zhang and Deontay Wilder. Now Joshua, I think he's waiting for either Zhang and Deontay Wilder winner, or Daniel Dubois and Filip Hrgovic winner. For me, I think the Deontay Wilder fight is still there because it's still a big fight. Although Deontay Wilder lost his last fight against Joseph Parker, for a fight against Joshua, I think Wilder will turn up, and he will try and give his best and make it entertaining as much as he can. So I think that is definitely an interesting fight. If Zhang wins, that is also a very, very, very exciting fight between Joshua and Zhang, because Joshua and Zhang actually fought in the amateurs in the Olympics, and Joshua won that fight. He actually dropped Zhang in that fight. So there's definitely unfinished business there. If Joshua should fight Dubois, that would be really good. Two British guys, heavy hitters, of course, going head to head. And I think that, we could see some really interesting battles there. Joshua versus Filip Hrgovic could also be interesting. Hrgovic, he hasn't looked really good in his last 3 or 4 fights, but he looks like someone that can have a go, and he could give Joshua something to think about. But I think ultimately Joshua will knock Filip Hrgovic really spark out, I think. But yeah, it seems as though there's some really good matchup for AJ. Where he goes next, what he does next, that is definitely something that I'm really looking forward to seeing, and seeing how he develops further with Ben Davison going forward, and how he he gets wins, and one of his goals, and if you watch interviews, is he says that he wants to become a 3-time heavyweight champion of the world. And I think now that Usyk and Fury have fought, I think the belts are going to scatter, and he will, be, he will fight for one of the belts, and I'm sure he will be victorious and win a heavyweight champion again. Or for what that could be worth, seeing how the Saudis have come into boxing, Joshua could fight for the undisputed championship, which has always been his dream to fight for, and he collected all the belts, but of course wasn't able to get the undisputed on because he lost against Usyk twice, as well. But it's looking really promising for him. He's had a resurgence in his career. It seems like Ben Davison has brought something new out of him, and he looks really exciting. He looks energized, and he looks like he's ready to go anytime, anywhere. So look, I'm looking forward to it. Whoever he's fighting, whether it is Wilder, whether it is Zhang, whether it is Dubois or Hrgovic, I think it's going to be a great fight at Wembley in front of 90,000 people. This is what the UK British fans want to see, and he hasn't been exactly the same fighter that he was, and so hasn't been able to fight at bigger stadiums like Spurs or Wembley. But it's really good that he's back, and he'll be back again in the UK, and fighting again. But I'm really excited about AJ's next chapter. I think the Wilder fight would definitely be the fight that, if Wilder should win against Young, which is of course not a foregone conclusion. This is a fight that we will talk about. It's fight week, so we will talk about this fight a bit later on this week. But if Wilder should come, victorious against Young, I think that is a fight that everybody would love to see, Joshua versus Wilder. So hopefully that happens. If it is with Zhang, it'll be an exciting fight. So either Dubois or Hrgovic will be a great fight as well. But you guys let me know what you think about Joshua's new form that he's found with Ben Davison. Do you like it? Do you not like it? Do you think he can become heavyweight champion for the 3rd time, or even undisputed if that is on the cards? What do you think about Joshua so far and the way he's been performing? Let me know what you think in the comment section. Of course, like, subscribe. Let's have a conversation in the section. Let me know what you think. I'll respond to your message, and we can keep this community going. So look, really enjoy this. I'll see you on the next one.